Nigerians, we're about to kick things up a notch for you. It's been a whole year, so that's enough time for you to be up and ready to go. We intend to give you a good time on this brand new edition of the show, Wake Up Nigeria. As always, we have the best of television content to offer you. And for the next 1 hour and 45 minutes, make that 2 hours and 45 minutes, we will be doing just that. My name is Mary Bashra Alimi. And yes, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm the only one here right now. It's because of the traffic. There's traffic everywhere. If you don't have to go out today, just stay indoors. I'm sure you're looking forward to the Lagos traffic updates. We'll be giving you more updates. But just in case you're looking at me right now about to set out, if you don't have to go out, just stay indoors today. It's that bad, especially if you're going towards Ibadan and other such places, okay? It really is bad. If you're coming from Bagada, you're coming from Surulere, going towards toll gates, look for alternative routes or just avoid it completely, please, okay? And of course, if you have other traffic situations to share with us, you can always do so via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. That's how to connect with us for other things as well. You can also download our mobile app from any Android or iOS store to watch us on your mobile, okay? So that's from anywhere in the world. You don't have to miss us at any time at all. Well, we'll move on to the highlights right now. First off, we have Adenike Adeleke, also known as Denike. Now, Denike is a singer-songwriter who will be giving us the first performance of the day. Now, there's also, on a lighter note, now this is where we bring you a number of interesting videos straight off the internet. That will be very shortly, though. And then, yet another performer, this time Lyrics Adam. He is a singer-songwriter and the CEO of Plucky Music with a couple of singles under his belt. And then, of course, from Mike, we will be getting the latest news on our celebrities in entertainment news this morning. Now, moving on, for parenting, a Lagos dad, Jesutola Ajao, will be back with us again to talk to dads about bonding with your newborns. And of course, Yomi Bosude is a certified mechanical engineer, and he started a conversation last week about what to look out for when getting a used car. He will be concluding that later on the show today. And finally, actress and presenter Belinda Effah will be our celebrity guest this morning. She's also the host of Lunch Break with Belinda. The way some people take this greetings personally, What are you guys looking like this?
This yesterday night.
The morning, right.
So a number of houses were flooded, mine included to an extent, and roofs were blown off yesterday.
Yes.
Are you
Very,
serious?
Yes,
like that rain and trees. So like the whole express is blocked or something.
Yeah.
Trucks.
There are trucks
I like
everywhere.
on a
and all
standstill.
of
The
that.
traffic is a
So-
standstill.
I think you see something I always say, to get to that extent, making Lagos a metropolitan city, this kind of things, we need to factor it into city planning and all of that. It's quite a lot. I mean, when you consider that drainages, if drainages were okay, a lot of flooding might have been averted, and a few other things.
Yeah, but
we
we're not
need to-
exactly sure what the cause of this traffic is this morning.
No, he is even talking about the flooding. The thing is this, I keep telling people, we talk about flooding, yet we contribute to it.
Yeah,
If
well,
you go to
true,
the market,
actually.
and there's a popular saying, especially among Yorubas, they'll say, Omi ma gbelo to where? Where is the water
Yeah,
taking it to?
yeah.
It's definitely going to block somewhere. You cannot say water is going to take it. And
Yeah,
you're pouring
I agree.
all your,
To some extent, we
your
contribute.
trash.
We
Yeah,
contribute to it,
contribute
and that's why
Exactly.
every Thursdays are is left. I mean, it's for
Environmental
environmentals, for business workers, for the market women,
Yes.
and all of that.
Yes.
But then how how are they
even
doing it,
dispose of it
or how
afterwards?
effective is it?
Yes.
Do you understand? And
Because most times when you go and you're not expected, your shop is not even open most of the time. So and then you wonder how they go. So what actually happens is that people stay back at home.
yes,
And then they resume by
exactly
10
resume by
o'clock.
after
Yes.
10
So that's
a.m.
just
yeah.
what happened.
Yes.
But like the traffic, what I was saying is that we had trees blocking a lot of roads. There's this particular road in I think it was Ikoyi, somewhere on the island, and a tree fell over. And the government, the relevant authorities did what they should do, And they made it sound, so it was like... So
They were doing us a favor.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, look, emergency response, this is what people pay tax
Yeah.
for.
That's what you pay tax
That's why we
for.
pay our taxes.
And talking
Anyways,
about
yeah.
taxes and more, we will probably get more of that on the news. Ibrahim is on standby for us.
All right, good morning. Thank you for joining us on the news. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has appealed to elderly Nigerians to avoid statements that could undermine peace in the country. He spoke after an iftar dinner meeting with President Muhammad Buhari in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. But both men were with the Sultan of Sokoto and the Emir of Kazaure, and with the inauguration of President Buhari only 9 days away, Asiwaju Tinubu enjoined all Nigerians to rally round the president, whom he commended for recognizing June the 12th as Nigeria's Democracy Day. He also took a swipe at the opposition PDP for making destructive statements. And the Federal Executive Council meeting has approved 0.2% as a new import levy for sustainable financing of Nigeria's membership subscription in the African Union. The State House correspondent Maria Olashende reports that Council also received briefly that the Nigerian economy recorded a real GDP growth, domestic product growth of 2.01% in the first quarter of 2019.
This is the last Federal Executive Council meeting before the valedictory session, scheduled for 22nd of May, and it is chaired by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo. At this extraordinary meeting, the Minister of Finance briefed the Council approved a rate of 0.2% as a new import levy on costs, insurance and freight that will be charged on imports coming into Nigeria, but with some exceptions.
Originating from outside the territory of member countries that are coming into the country for consumption. It also includes goods that are coming in for aid, and also it includes goods that are originating from non-member countries but are imported through specific financing agreements that ask for such kind of exemptions.
She explains that the purpose of this new levy is to enable the African Union member countries pay on a sustainable basis their subscriptions to the African Union.
What will accrue from this new levy, it will be more than what is required as a subscription to the African Union, that the balance that is left will be ring-fenced and put in a special account and will be used to finance our subscriptions in multilateral organizations.
The Minister of Budget and National Planning speaks on the 2.01% economic growth recorded in the first quarter of 2019. It says this growth reflects the strongest first quarter performance in GDP since 2015.
And our trade balance have also remained healthy over the period, while our exchange rate to the dollar has also been stable. So notwithstanding the elections, there has been stability.
He also expresses Council's belief that the dividends arising from the peaceful elections and the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari will lead to a further boost in economic growth.
That in the next level, the President is committed to further work on initiatives to, amongst other things, protect Nigeria from vulnerability to any external shocks, reverse the contraction in the oil sector, and stimulate faster growth in agriculture and manufacturing. In short, under the next level agenda, even more initiatives will be rolled out to ensure that growth is faster and even more inclusive, as well as job creating.
Council approved 9 memos from the Federal Capital Territory Minister. President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to dissolve the cabinet to end his first term in office. Maria Olashende, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, the National Assembly is tightening the noose on press freedom with new guidelines that will make it difficult for reporters to cover plenary and other parliamentary activities. In a statement signed by the National Assembly's Director of Information, media organizations are now required to produce a copy of their income tax returns for the last 2 years. Journalists are also required to produce a code of certification from the National Library for their media house, and only organizations with a minimum of 2 years experience in covering the National Assembly will be accredited. This new accreditation is expected to come into effect on the 11th of June after the inauguration of the 9th Assembly. And also parliamentary reporters are already challenging this attempt at stifling press freedom. The Senate Press Corps has written a letter to the National Assembly leadership and all security agencies working within the parliament, calling for an outright dismissal of the guidelines. It is contrary to Section 22 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. They say we join the journalists in arguing that the Constitution empowers the media to hold government and institutions accountable to the people. That's all on the news update for these hour. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's time for us to take a look at the newspaper headlines. And this morning we'll begin with the Guardian newspaper. The National Assembly slams restrictions on media, voids accreditations, imposes stiff rules for renewal. I'm not aware of guidelines, says Saraki. Editors vow to resist medieval intrusion. And down here, how Lagos downpour wreaked havoc, gridlock. Government urges calm, pledges prompt response. You see a photo story here, a scene of a tree that fell on cars during the early morning rain at Alfred Ruwani Road, Ikoyi, yesterday. And down here, we also have INEC withdraw certificates of return of Nwaboshi, 24 others. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Might interest quite a number of people. And this one, petrol may rise as Senate deletes equalization fund from PIGB. Well, all of the stories in the Guardian newspaper today.
And on the cover of the Punch newspaper, we have doctors, nurses lament poor pay, overwork in state hospitals. Oh, great. And also here we have rain wreaks havoc on Lagos, Ogun, destroys buildings, others, and that's on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. Also here we have federal government invites world leaders to maiden June 12th Democracy Day. Also we have National Assembly coverage. Outrage greets satanic guidelines for journalists accreditation. And also we have pictures of scenes of fallen trees obstructing traffic, and of course the havoc that the downpour caused yesterday in Lagos. And finally here we have gunmen kidnap twins, one other in Ekiti, demand 22 million naira. Judge remands Naira Marley in prison. And you can find that all on the Punch.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the Vanguard newspaper now. First quarter 2019, insecurity, elections, slow economic growth to 2%. Amechi can influence Igbo presidential future, but that's coming from the suspended Hohanese scribe. Rights lawyer Adegboruwa, 13 professors, 66 others for SAN award. And we have Buhari, Tinubu, Sultan meet in Saudi Arabia. Up here, federal government rolls out program for May 29, June 12. No cause for alarm, Nigeria safe, says Lai Mohammed. Outrage over National Assembly's new stringent conditions for journalist accreditation. All of these stories and more in the Vanguard newspaper today.
All right, and on the cover of the Daily Sun, we have EFCC. We are probing Governor Okorocha, others, and that's on page 10. Also here we have protests rocks Lagos over state of Badagry Expressway. Residents give federal government 100 days ultimatum, threaten to block road. Here we also have security agencies dealing with threats to Buhari's government. That's by the federal government. And my expectations from Buhari in second term, says David West. Also here we have NUJ editors blow hot over National Assembly's attempt to gag press. And that's all on the cover of the Daily Sun. And of course we have a picture here of, the flooding that occurred yesterday in some areas of Lagos.
All right then, moving on to this day newspaper. SEC probes MTN listing on stock exchange. Shareholders raking 6.1 billion naira in one day as induced scarcity continues. Nigeria's GDP shrinks to 2.01% in the first quarter 2019. Oil production rises to 1.96 mbpd, and Ruwani others seek economic plan. Up here, we have federal government saying Nigeria safe for world leaders to attend Buhari's inauguration. And of course, NICOM raises insurance firms' operating capital by 200%. These stories you see in this day newspaper today.
All right, that's all we can take on the newspaper headlines this morning. There's so much more coming up next, and of course, you're going to update us on traffic updates later on, yeah?
Yes, shortly. Now it's time to find out what else will be happening. We'll have to take a break. When we come back, of course, the show continues.
Stay with us.
All right, it's time for the Lagos traffic update on Wake Up Nigeria, and about time for us to tell you what's happening on the roads. Now, please note that you can always be a part of this segment simply by sending a message on Instagram, Facebook, or even Twitter to let us know what your traffic situation is wherever you may be, and perhaps take a traffic selfie as well. That'll be really cute. Okay, so you know how we tend to focus on certain areas, or rather certain moves. Today, we are going to be going a different route because we are taking it upside down. Instead of focusing on how to get to the island, we're going to be starting with focusing on how to get to Beja from the island. So I'll take it from Oworo side. If you're going from Oworo to Beja this morning, I don't want to say I have bad news for you, but just be ready for traffic, like loads of traffic. From Oworo, it's a bit free, seems a bit free, until you get to Ogudu Road. When you get to Ogudu Road area, you would see that, you know, the Ogudu area of the expressway, you would see that there's a bit of traffic. The traffic starts to build up, and then it's bumper to fender. And the kind of bumper to fender that is literally standstill, okay? So it continues like that until you get to the bridge, okay? When you get to the bridge, approaching toll gates, the traffic is still at a standstill. But shortly after, just right after a particular intersection, the traffic suddenly eases out. But that's if you can get through, because there are some trucks parked there, as at this morning, and so they're the cause for the obstruction of traffic. But right after that, it's free, like really free, until you get to the Ikosi area. That's when you encounter a bit of traffic. And then, but it's not so bad, it's just the light traffic. But then it eases out, goes on, going through CMD Road, but not CMD Road on the expressway, okay? But shortly after that, you'd encounter traffic, just as you are taking off from that CMD axis. And then it eases out, and it's not so bad until you get to Beja, okay? So where you need to look out for, the red area to look out for this morning, is the Ogudu area leading to the bridge, the intersection from Ojota to K2 and the likes, okay? So guys, do you have any tweets for me? I'm very sure you have loads of tweets, considering the fact that people are probably boiling.
Yes, and Yomi eventually
welcome, Yomi.
Yeah, you want to get? Yeah, Yomi actually had some traffic experience this morning. He actually had to take a route that I'm sure he hasn't taken like in a really long time.
I'm always wondering where area boys get the chance to go to the gym. But I saw some things this morning when I went around to K2 area. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Approaching
the toll gates.
Approaching the toll gate, yeah. It's completely blocked, and all the cars were turned back.
Yeah.
Facing. I just suddenly saw every car.
Everyone is taking one way.
Yeah.
Everyone on that route is actually taking one way.
Started coming in one direction.
Because
so I had
everyone is looking for alternative routes.
Exactly.
Out of that
so I had to. I wasn't very familiar with the area. I'd passed that area before, but
you had to follow other cars.
Yes, I was following other cars. I saw one TVC vehicle, but the guy was moving so fast. So I'm not sure who was in the car, but you know, the guy disappeared after a while.
Okay.
So I then did. I tried to navigate. So I then found out. Okay, I was trying to go to Ojota so that I could go through CMD Road. But then I discovered I was on the express while others were
diverting.
So I then had to go to Maryland. Up by B. Allen.
But we still don't know why they're using that one way, right?
I'm not really sure what's going on.
We don't know what's causing the traffic.
I saw police soldiers on the road, and they kept saying,
I think maybe an accident or a tree fell, because I know that there were many trees that
That
fell
fell
in different places in Lagos yesterday. So if it's not an accident, something like that.
All right, so traffic update this morning on Twitter. Here we have at Bola Irabo. Heading to Berger from Oworo is a no-go this morning. An accident happened just before the 7-Up pedestrian bridge. Ooh.
Okay, so that's probably what caused all that terrible traffic.
At 5:50 a.m. this morning at Skenki 2G1 here, Alakbere to Ogudo is free at the moment. Okay, and here also, if you're towards Berger or Ibadan, use Bagada through Maryland to Ikeja. Accident involving fuel tanker on Ojota Bridge, and that's at McKinney, coming in this morning at about 5:55 a.m. That's the 6 a.m.
Now, I'm pretty certain that for some people who traverse that Ikeja area, they'll be wondering, why is there a surge of traffic today? This is why, because people are taking diversions to avoid the traffic around the Ojota Bridge. Okay, so for the benefit of those who are coming from Maryland, okay, if you're heading towards K2 area, all right, if you're stuck in the traffic, if there's a way for you to divert and, in quotes, escape it, do so now. Because coming from Maryland is very free. It's deceptive, very deceptive. Because as soon as you're approaching K2 area, you'd find out that the traffic starts to build up. And then all of a sudden, it's a standstill right after the Odua Shopping Center. Okay, so don't be deceived. You know how you see the freeway and you're like, but they say there's traffic here. It's because people are probably avoiding it, so you don't get stuck there. And so the traffic continues right through Ojota Market area, though it seems to ease up, but it's also deceptive because it picks up again and it's a standstill until you get to that intersection where you either head towards Oworo or you head on to K2, and then at that point, guess what? It eases out. So I'm hoping that something is already being done about the trucks right now. So people are probably trying to avoid getting stuck there as well. Okay, so that's something you need to keep in mind right now. Mike, do you have any tweets for me?
No, I don't at this moment.
Well, basically, everyone is just giving us updates on...
so most of the updates, those are... okay, so you talked about the accident involving a 30-ton tipper that rammed into a laden tanker. So a tipper ran into a tanker, a petrol tanker, on that interchange inwards toll gates, which is what everybody's saying now. So so the fire department is on ground. So it's the fire department that's turning people back because I think there's petrol on the
road.
Yeah, on the road. So that's why people are being diverted. Police, the fire department is also there, and hopefully they'll move the trucks out of the way over the next 1 or 2 hours.
And I would also suggest for some of you who could work from home, I think
try to work from home. Also, mad traffic right now. Mad traffic right now this morning at K2 Ojota. To connect the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, just take inside Ikeja Secretariat, jejely. Avoid the toll gate area. That's what this person said. So.
And if you think Ikeja is an easy way to cop out of it, it's not, because Ikeja is actually also...
It's building up fast.
Yes,
so,
there's a lot of traffic in Ikeja. That's why I started earlier by stating that if you don't have to go out today, just stay indoors. So people who have to go out can actually get stuff done, okay? So if you're going from Yanokpaja to Ikeja along the usual traffic, though is even more this morning, I'm suspecting because of people who have done diversions, and so it's made the traffic even heavier around that area. So if you're going out this morning, be ready for extra traffic. And if you're an employer, please understand that your employees might be very late to work today. You might just want to give them that concession, okay? Talking about concession, it's time for me to grab a cup of coffee, so I'll be joining the guys in the kitchen.
All right, thank you very much, Mary, for that traffic. I'm sure, well, everyone is like, thank you so much for the traffic updates. Like if you're watching us online or wherever you are right now.
Everybody putting on their clothes at this time is saying, okay, you know what?
Yeah,
Let me reconsider my movements.
Okay, so there's something I actually really wanted us to talk about this morning, and that it has to do with helping people, you know, like giving people rights, like helping people
Stop
out.
it, yeah.
Yes, that sort of thing. Okay, so my husband was giving me an instance this morning, something
Yeah.
that happened to him last week. So on his way to the office sometime last week, it was raining. Like it was raining cats and dogs. And then he saw these guys and he started to help them out. So one of them, they stopped at different, you know, locations, like different areas. And so today, so he said yesterday he was on his way to the office, and then just as he was driving out of the estate gates, one of them, you know, was like deliberately, you know, tried to, you know, stop him.
One of the
And
same guys?
Yeah, one of the same guys. I was whistling and stop. You helped me last week. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, so my husband was like, well, the thing is, last week it was raining, that's why I helped you. So he was like,
Doesn't
that
want it to be a regular.
exactly, doesn't want it to be a regular thing. Even the other one was telling him that, we live in the same estate, so, and there's this lady that used to help me, but because she's on leave right now, I'm hoping that I could be hitching a ride with you like all the time, you get. So, and my husband is a very like, okay, yeah, I'm helping you, but it doesn't mean we're friends.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So he was like that entitlement mentality thingy people always want. They feel that you've given them, you give them a yard and they want to take him out. That sort of thing.
Exactly. But Mike is laughing.
Well, okay, so if you can,
Yeah.
you know, like most of the time, okay, so you get to estate and there are people that will tell you that, okay, I'm going to work and I would want one or two people to be a part of it so that, hey, they can contribute towards the fuel at times, you know. So
Contribute to the field so you collect money from them.
Oh, yeah.
People
course.
do.
really,
People
Like
do that.
when they, if like
Well,
4 colleagues live in the same
well,
neighborhood,
now.
Yeah.
instead
Why
of
would
them
you?
having to struggle
You
for
want me?
traffic,
Exactly.
you know,
you
or
want me
for
to be, you want me
vehicles
to
in the
be
morning.
carrying
There
you
used to
every
be
day?
this.
I would rather you
There used
just
to be
use
this,
You want me to
your...
be carrying you every day?
There used to be a ride-sharing app. I don't
Yes,
know whether
ma'am.
it's still functional now.
Yeah.
But I know it was in Surulere,
There's one or
Yaba, and
two.
Ikeja. So if you want to ride with several people, so there'll be like 4 of us
Yeah.
that we all live in the same area, not necessarily the same
Yes,
estate,
ma'am.
just the same area.
serious.
But we all have cars.
Yeah.
So each person will
take
then pitch
turns.
in.
Yeah,
Exactly. So
okay.
we'll either take turns or we'll pitch in to buy petrol. So if I buy
Even
1,000
locally here in this company, there are
Yes,
people
ma'am.
who do it. They go, you know, home together. They come to work
And then they
together.
all contribute
And
money
yes,
for
they,
fuel.
it's not really like
Are you
contribution.
serious?
Like
Yes,
the
ma'am.
person who owns the car might buy a fuel of say 5,000 naira a week. But every other person probably contributes like 500 or, you know,
100 or
700,
1,000 or-
yeah, just to support it.
Yeah.
Point is that it's
Because
not,
when
it's
the
not a
car is
problem.
bad, he fixes it himself. I'm not saying that the extra people is carrying an extra load, because personally, there's some people that actually like their peace and quiet when coming to work.
Do you understand?
So if
Or
you're not
after
that kind of
work-
person, if you like the company and you also want to save money, then why not?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but there are also some people who do not contribute. They are just waiting. Okay,
Exactly,
you helped
so-
me last week.
Yes,
Can you help me again
yes.
tomorrow
You have a
and
lot of
next year
freeloaders, yeah.
and the
See,
year
it
after
doesn't
that?
matter. If you can afford to, why not? You don't know what you're saving them off by simply saying, okay, join me, let me save you that money.
Okay,
if
see,
you can afford
if you
to.
cannot, if
you can't, then-
if you're going to hitch a ride with somebody
Yeah.
constantly, nobody should tell you to use your head.
Exactly, you know.
But if you don't
Some
use
people
your
tell
head,
you don't bother.
no, if you don't use, let
if
them
they
tell
say
you.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
if you come
Or
and
at
tell
least
me
make
I
an
am
offer.
helping you, Oga, can't you help me too? We all,
Right,
everybody
everybody
needs
needs help
one time
these
or the other.
days.
My
Right.
point is, if you're
Oh my.
So,
But if your
everybody
company
needs
is
help.
paying
Let's
for
not
your
even start
full
there.
voucher
sef.
and
My
call.
point is that even
I
if
beg, please don't even go there. I beg.
even if I have all the things, even if I no matter how much I have, it tells a lot about the kind of person you
You are. Yeah.
And I don't want such people around. If it's very constant, right? At least someday you say, Oga, how far now? Man, fuel the car today.
Yeah.
I should drive into the filling station and you say, make a fuel the car.
Don't worry,
But when you
yeah.
don't even give me any sign like that, I know the way you are. Oga, the kind of person that come to my house every day. Say, bros, how far now? When you know that you are smelling
Food.
you are smelling food. That's why you come and knock.
And you don't
Say, bros,
bring
how far
food,
now?
stop.
Me, I will just be inside.
Oh my God.
I will just inside from far. So, I did bathroom. So the point is that you should use your head, right? If somebody's going to do that, then be a part of it.
Okay, so we've looked at that angle of if it's your personal car. But do you know there are some people who have official cars? Their cars are filled by the company, yet they drive past their colleagues without
Anyway,
offering to help.
I think
and
we'll
there are
maybe
many of them who do
Continue
that.
this conversation
Many.
later on.
It's not your drive.
Yes, there are many.
we do
You're
have-
not the one filling the car. The car doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the company. But you're unwilling to even help a colleague. You can see struggling to get a bus.
On that note, we'll take a break. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Mary. We'll be right back.
Well, in the spirit of birthdays, we have a couple of shout-outs to do right now.
Yeah.
And so if you sent in your photograph or the photograph of a loved one,
shortly
it's about
you see it
time.
on screen.
Yeah.
Yes, you can celebrate yourself or a loved one too on your birthdays. Just go to our TVC Connect page and send it in with a picture and the date. Now, always remember to use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria. Okay? So let's get started.
Well, hello, Nigerians. We're about to kick things up a notch for you. Yeah, it's been a whole hour already. So that's enough time for you to be up and ready to go. But don't forget that there's a lot of traffic out there, some depending on where you are in Lagos. So just be careful. Keep your eyes on the road.
And drive carefully, okay?
drive
This is not the
carefully.
time for you to, be swerving and switching lanes. You could cause a lot of traffic, especially if there's an accident resulting from that.
So, of course, we intend to give you a good time on this brand new edition of Wake Up Nigeria. And we always have the best content for you on television. And over the next 1 hour, 45 minutes, we're going to be doing just that. My name is Yomi Ogbe.
And I am Mary Alimi. We're streaming live at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. So send in your comments across our social media platforms with the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria.
All right, you also need to know that we've got an app available now on the Google Play Store and also on the Apple iStore as well. Now, the app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and as always, we'll be having stuff to do in the kitchen. I must mention that MM will be with someone really special, making something really interesting this morning. A new chef, Yomi.
I hope it's going to be shawarma. That's what I heard.
That's what you're craving, or that's what you heard?
That's what I'm hoping will happen. So that's what I'm looking forward to as well.
Okay, we'll see if it's shawarma. We'll see if it's shawarma.
Anyway, still
We'll
to come
go
on the
with
show.
your coffee.
Lots of stuff that we have for you over the next 2 hours.
Yes, from Mike, we will be getting the latest news on our celebrities and entertainment news this morning.
And of course, for parenting, Lagos dads Jesu Tola Ajao is going to be back with us again to talk to dads about bonding with their newborn.
And then, of course, Yomi Boshide is a certified mechanical engineer, and he started a conversation last week about what to look out for when getting a used car. He will be concluding that later on the show today.
Actress and presenter Belinda Effah will be joining us as a guest this morning. She's also the host of Lunch Break with Belinda.
That was hilarious.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, so yesterday I wanted to talk about the rains. It was so. This was what happened. I got back home after a very long day, expecting to just go and eat because I don't eat much.
Okay, why is MM laughing at
So
you?
I was just prepared. I just said, just go back here. So this is my neighbor. And I just greeted him, just hailed me like I just came back. Normally I don't stop. I just hailed me. Hey, how far now? No, just sit there like 2-3 minutes. Far. Oh, Mama go grub. We'll see later. Just open my house. Bang. And now I left my windows open.
Do you have rugs?
No, it's a tile ground. I left my
Thank
windows
goodness.
open,
Everywhere was flooded.
Everywhere.
Oh, wow.
So, but what happened was that it had already subsided. So some part that so but everything was soaked. You
Oh,
know.
my goodness.
So what I found out was that not only the rain was soaked, it was the wind. So the wind was pushing everything inside. It had never happened before. Like, I just sat down like this. Imagine someone that's hungry. I just came back.
And you're tired.
I just sat down like this.
Must be, I'll just close the door.
I was so tired.
Exactly. Go and eat.
Take a trip.
I was so tired. You know Lagos roads. when you go after work, when you wear your Lagos will make you feel like you've walked because you feel like 3 hours already. It's not like you're really tired.
Yeah.
But the road has made you, so you always come back tired. But you know, like you did so much work. When you spend like 4 or 5 hours going and coming in traffic and everything, you come back. What did I do today? But I'm tired. So like I just started like, man, how is this thing going to be? Well, anyway, I sorted it out.
I've been in that kind of situation before.
The rain?
And but it was my aunts. So there was a time I used to live with my aunts, like, briefly. And Ikota Road also has serious
a lot of
drainage
flooding,
issues. My God.
Man.
We woke up. As we woke up, as you're getting off the bed,
Was it a
There was
roof
water.
situation or window?
water had entered everywhere. It was a 3-bedroom apartment, and trust me, it's big.
Wow.
Water had flooded the whole place. I'm not joking. It reached our knees. I'm not
so
joking.
there's some streets
And you guys
that...
slept through that?
There's some,
We're sleeping. It was raining. When it rains, you enjoy your sleep the more.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm so
it's
sorry.
the truth now.
Wow.
And then you wake up. What?
And so
Let's
finally,
swim out of that.
this my friend came back and said, this is your bed, don't talk water bed. You're okay.
Anyway, I'm sure Ibrahim has 1 or 2 stories of his own, perhaps a flood story as well. Ibrahim.
Yeah, absolutely. My sympathy, Mike. When I was in Ibadan some time ago, it really happened to me. I came back home, and then just like you said, water bed. So I didn't sleep that night.
Sorry.
Sorry, it's not funny.
Okay, let's go straight to the news. Up-and-coming musician Aziz Fashola, also known as Naira Marley, has now been ordered to Ikoyi prison in Lagos after spending about 10 days in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. It will appear again at the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, on the 30th of May to argue his bail application. The singer stirred controversy, recently stamping his support for internet fraud as against fellow singers who condemned the act. If found guilty under the Anti-Cybercrimes Act 2015, he faces imprisonment of not more than 7 years or a fine as much as 5 million naira and forfeiture of advantage or value derived from his act. And that's all about the news.
That Naira Marley situation, finding yourself in prison. Today is World Meditation Day. So it's an opportunity for him to actually think deeply. Yeah, it's
and
sad.
apparently he's going to be remanded till the 30th of this month.
30th, that's a long time.
So that's quite a few days. We're seeing that pictures of that yesterday.
Yes.
I also heard that his mother broke down in
That's
tears.
here on the screen. He's being led out of the court, I guess, straight to Ikoyi prison. Oh, wow. Now, on the one hand, this has probably made him more famous or infamous, as the case may be. On the other hand, though, I wonder what this does for his reputation. But he pleaded not guilty.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did take the report yesterday was quite extensive, and hopefully that's also a lesson for many.
Yeah, a
who are
lesson for
observing.
many. Yeah.
Morning. I hope those of us at home, you're watching, and then you also joined as well. All right, so here in the kitchen with me this morning is someone new. She's making her debut. Yeah, she's a shawarma expert, just so you know.
Yes,
okay. And her name is Mrs. Ariola of Numero Uno. Yeah, and this morning we are making shawarma. She's going to take us through the process of how to make shawarma.
Yeah.
Hi, Ms. Ariola. You excited?
Yes, I am.
Great. I can see the excitement. All right, so let's talk about the ingredients you'll be working with this morning.
Okay. We'll be working with cabbage.
Yeah.
Okay. We all know what cabbage stands for. If you don't know, cabbage is very high in fiber.
Yes, it
and
is.
it's good for our system.
Yeah.
We're also using onions. We are using onions. We are using green pepper. And we are using tomatoes. We are using sausage. And we are using the unleavened bread.
Yeah.
And with my secret sauce.
Yes.
That's my secret
Apparently,
sauce.
every shawarma person has a secret recipe they use to make their sauce, which of course is fine.
Okay.
We're not saying.
It's very
you're
healthy.
good. Yeah, okay.
It is.
But you want to give us like a little idea of, just in case. I mean, that's the idea. We want to make this at home as well, as much as we want to, you know.
Please, you have to
eat
pay
your
for
shawarma.
that. You have to really pay for
great.
that.
All right.
And also the chili pepper.
Yes. All right. So, how do we start this? How do we? And of course, our shawarma maker.
Yeah, the
what
machine.
do you call this? Like
the grill.
Yes.
Yeah. This is industrial. This is not just the normal grill.
But what I mean, if we are trying this at home, which of course is the idea, and you do not have a grill machine, what else do you use?
You probably there's this home make grill, but
Okay.
it's not for us that are into the business.
Okay. Okay, so I can make use of my regular
Toaster.
toaster,
No,
or
it won't give you that look and that crispy finish.
not even fry pan with little.
No. It's not
Don't
gonna
mind me,
give
when
you-
it comes to food, I like my imaginations to run wild.
No,
So,
that-
hey,
it's not
please.
gonna give you the crispy taste.
Yeah. All right, so let's get started, right?
So we'll start by chopping our cabbage.
All right. And our sausages, which we're working with this morning,
Yeah,
we're
we're
making
gonna
use of
grill it.
chicken
Yes,
sausages,
sausages.
yeah?
So it's
Okay.
chicken
So we're
fries.
not frying it, we're not doing
No, we are
anything,
grilling.
just
We are grilling.
So all of this goes into the wrap and straight into the grill.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic.
But we're gonna grill the sausage.
Oh, we're gonna grill that.
Yeah,
oh,
we're
okay.
grilling the
Because
sausage.
I'm like, okay, because okay. So if you're making this at home, I'm sure you could also use your fry pan. To
Well, that
just
will entail
give it a little bit of
maybe. But grill gives me what I want.
Well, it's my job to actually make things easier for our viewers. You know,
Okay.
who says you have to? Well, you have to patronize the shawarma experts. But I mean, you could also make this at home, like your own homemade shawarma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
You can
this
try,
morning,
yeah,
will
with
be-
cabbage. Normally, if we are doing like so much, I use my slicer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have it here. I can also use
Use
it, but I
that
just
as
want
well.
people that don't have slicers to see the way it's being done.
Okay, interesting stuff happening here on the show. We are making shawarma just in case you're just joining us. But at this point, we have to go on a quick break. People, stay with us.
Welcome back. I just found out that we don't just have a chef in the house today, the shawarma expert. That was for the break. But hey, right here, I've got singer-songwriter Denike. Of course, her genres of music are Afro, pop, R&B, soul, and alternative. Now, that's quite a wide mix of music. How are you doing, Denike?
I'm fine.
Cool. She told me something quite interesting. She was a fashion designer. She still is a fashion designer. But now you design for yourself.
Yeah, I do.
Why don't you? The world needs to get more of your talent. Fashion and music, they go together, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll think about that later.
You think
Now,
about
I just
that?
want to focus on music.
Okay, so professionally, how long have you been doing music?
A year now.
A year now.
Yeah.
So why the decision to focus entirely on music?
Well, because I discovered when you do something you have passion for, like you
Okay.
enjoy it more. So
you've had a
music
passion
has
for
always
singing.
been my thing. Yeah.
For how long? Like from when? When was it? What was your earliest memory of you doing music?
I think like about 5. Yeah. About
And
5.
where was that? You were in
In
school?
church.
Oh, in
Church,
church. So, but you don't do gospel music now?
No.
Oh, your pastor now sing now. I'm not doing it. I don't sing in the choir that time. Now. Okay, but now the content of your music. What inspires your music? You know, people have different messages. What's the message that is most seen around your music? What do you sing about the most?
Yeah. I think about love the most. Yeah.
Why? Is it because personal experiences or more or less what people want?
It's not really about my personal experience, although they are part of it though.
Okay.
Then it's more about what I see around and I think,
Okay, now you are signed to a record label, right?
Yeah.
You know, how's the experience been being managed by some people and all of that, putting music together? How's your experience been with your record label?
Well, it hasn't really been so official. It has been like a family
Okay.
thing. So
But you have a team working
Yeah,
with
I
you.
do. I do
Yeah.
have
So
a
what's it like having that team? What's it like having a team working behind you, pushing you, you know,
nice.
getting you and all of that, a manager and all of that? What's it like?
it's really, really nice.
It's nice, eh?
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
cool. So let's feel a bit of Denike. What are we performing today?
Ejika.
Ejika. Okay, yeah. Let's feel that. Denike, take it away.
Thank you.
The rivers of love overflows. You know I'll swim it out for you. You mean everything to me.
Nicely done, Danica. Beautiful song. Oh, wow. That certainly put me in a really, really good mood. Thank you so much. All right, so here in the kitchen with me, of course, is Mrs. Ariola. I'm always tempted to call you a chef. I'm sorry. Yeah, but she's actually no chef. She is a shawarma expert. Yes, people. As you know, we know how to bring them in a variety. Yeah. All right, so this morning, guys, she is making shawarma. Yeah, and so let's go through the ingredients, Miss Ariola.
Okay, so we have the chicken, the grilled chicken.
Yes, which is chicken just sugar.
Yeah, that we've grilled out all the fat in it.
Okay.
Okay, so
what did you season or marinate the chicken with?
I do garlic, ginger, I do turmeric, and I do the chili pepper.
Okay.
And my chili pepper is a combination of 3 peppers.
Okay.
I do Cameroon pepper, I do just pepper and Benue pepper together.
Benue pepper?
Yeah.
Oh, there's Benue pepper?
Yes, there is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There is.
Wow, interesting. So what, like you blend all of these peppers together?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we'll put it in the shawarma.
All right, great. Okay, so other ingredients that you'll be working with, let's talk about them.
The unleavened bread.
Yeah, which is over here.
Yes, yes. It's really good because some people will say they don't want to take bread, they don't want to do this, but the unleavened, it's not
very healthy.
Yes, 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 and it's good for the body.
Yeah.
And the green pepper, a lot of people don't know the value of green pepper. Each green pepper combines 5 sodium in it, 5 grams of sodium in it. And tomatoes is also good
very
for
high
the body.
antioxidants. Yeah.
Yes. And then cabbage is the only that me have seen, I don't know of any other one yet, that is very high in vitamin K.
Okay.
That helps in the blood clotting.
Yeah.
So it helps us to break down
every blood clot in your body. So that, which of course could lead to pulmonary
and cancer and all that.
Great.
So, and combination of tomatoes with onion, it's
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we're chopping our green pepper, onions, tomatoes. All right, and then we have our sausages, of course.
Yes, the chicken fries. We are grilling it.
Yeah. Ooh. They become really, really, really. Nice. Okay, so I'm just going to help you take that out.
Okay. Use the picker.
Yeah.
You have the picker?
You have a picker?
Yes, in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, great. All right, guys, so if you're just joining us this morning, we are making shawarma. Yes.
Not just any shawarma.
Not just any shawarma.
But numero uno shawarma.
All right. So I'm just going to put this aside while I help you pick that. Yeah, but we've actually forgot this particular sausage here. So I'll just put it, in the grill.
In the grill, yes.
Ooh, the sausages look really good.
Yes.
Nice.
That's why I said if you use grill, this is what it gives you. But if you use ordinary frying and all that, it's not always
actually get this result.
No.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's not done.
Oh, this is not done?
Yeah. It has to swell up.
Oh, okay. It has to swell. Yeah. Okay, that's the benefit of using a griller.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to leave these ones in here, yeah? Maybe I'll just move them
I probably
to the
just
center.
warm the chicken a bit. You can also put the chicken.
Okay, you want me to put the chicken as well?
Just
okay,
put one
give
or
it
two.
to heat it up.
Yes.
All right, so ingredients we're working with this morning for our shawarma. We have our cabbage, which is ready, finely chopped.
Yes.
We have our green pepper. We have our grilled chicken, which Miss Ariola grilled overnight, but we will just need to heat it up.
Yes.
Give it that sizzle. Oh, this looks nice. Are you sure I'm not supposed to be to the shawarma business? Because I seem to know how to do it really well.
Really?
I think so. Maybe not.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's not your calling.
Okay, it's not. Oh, great. Wow. She actually
We all
called
have
me
our
out.
calling.
Okay.
I'm called to do this.
Oh, she is. Trust me. She is. Okay, so I'm just going to cover this, yeah?
Okay, yeah. Good.
Nice. Anyway, I'm your sous chef, so it's fine.
I don't want you to call me a chef. Just call me a shawarma expert.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this bread a little bit, yeah? What's the difference between unleavened bread and tortillas? Are they the same?
No, the process of making the unleavened bread, it's not
Different.
the same way, yes. And it's mostly made by the Lebanese.
Yes.
That's their
Yes, actually. So, yeah, very, very true. Any wrap that look this way or that look like tortillas basically are originated from the Lebanese.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I remember last week, if you You could check up on our previous episodes on YouTube where we made burritos. Remember? Yeah, that was from the Mexico. Yeah, but this is from, originated from the Lebanese, where the wrap, shawarma, any of that kind is actually originated from the Lebanese. And it's pretty light.
Yes.
And you basically work with cooked ingredients for shawarma.
Majorly, we don't really cook. Because if you cook these vegetables, the vitamins are reducing.
Okay.
So what we do is some people stir fry, I don't do that.
I'm talking about the proteins.
Okay.
Yeah, but we use a lot of vegetables.
Yes,
but
yes. We just wrap it up in the bread.
Yeah.
It's only the sausages that is grilled, and the chicken is also grilled.
Yeah.
Every other one is
thing,
fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh, and then you just mix them up. The way you like it. Some people like a lot of vegetables. Some just want a little. Just the way you want it.
Yeah.
But no amount is too much and no amount is too small.
Yeah. And it's pretty healthy as well.
Yes.
Very, very, very healthy.
Yes.
You don't have to use chicken or sausages. You could use fish, right? I don't know. I'm not trying. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
But my mom do. My mom do fish,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She will just buy a croaker fish,
or
grill
mackerel.
it, any fish. My mom do. My mom. And she's a good chef. I can call her a chef.
Right. Maybe your mom can also come on the show, and teach us one or two things.
Yes.
Maybe make some Yoruba delicacy.
And then you bring her you pay for her ticket. She's not here.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, we could do that.
She's in the US.
We could do that.
Mama, don't relocate.
All right, if you're just joining us, people, we are making shawarma this morning. And of course, Mrs. Ariola of Numero Uno is taking us, teaching us how to make that this morning. Akintoye. Yes, and right now we have our grilled chicken and our sausages in the grill machine.
Yes.
That's we're warming that up and getting it ready. And our cabbages, our tomatoes, onions, green pepper is ready to, go all in that wrap.
Yes.
People.
Yes.
All right, so we have to go on a quick break, people. There's so much more on the show you don't want to miss out on. Stay with us.
Welcome back. I wasn't supposed to start that way. Vala Mogulis. Our watch has ended. All right, so finally, the greatest TV show on earth has come to an end. And to look at that final episode, I've got the hand of the king in the house. Chidi is here. You're welcome. It's great to have you, Chidi. You're welcome.
Always great to be on.
You're welcome. Yeah. Finally, the greatest show on earth has come to an end.
Our watch has ended.
Our watch has finally ended. So a number of people just went up, Mike, finally we'll hear something. No, we'll not hear. We'll start reviewing from episode 1. If I actually every week, till they bring up the spin-off, we'll start reviewing from episode 1.
Everything, I could go
season
back.
1. Yeah. Okay, but then let's get straight to it. Now, spoiler alert, if you have not seen it, maybe you want to turn down your volume or something. But we're giving spoilers here. It's the season finale. It just ended Sunday night. How was it? Generally, one word from you before we go into it. One word, how was the season finale for you?
Sensational.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Now, many people didn't like it. It didn't end how a lot of people expected it to end. I also loved it, yeah? But let's break it down. Looking at it, could it have ended any other way?
It could have ended in 50 possible different ways. Yeah, I mean, if you notice on social media, everybody's talking about how it could have ended. But nobody's saying the same thing.
True.
Danny should have died. Jon Snow should have died. Jon Snow should have been king. Sansa should have been... There are so many possible scenarios, and that's what's fantastic about the show. That's what's very fantastic about the show. There's no one way it could have ended that would have pleased everybody.
I think that's why the show is great. I mean, you have so many people coming up with different ways and all of that. Yeah. For me, Tyrion really had a very big role to play all through. The hand of the king, I mean, he started as the hand of the king, ended as the hand of another king. Yeah. There has been like now, what, a hand to 3 kings now, or 3 monarchs, a queen also inside there. But then, it started off, we'll see some clips now as it goes now. It started off from seeing the carnage that happened and all of that. The carnage. Was she justified?
That was the moment I knew she was going to die. That was the moment I just said, they've killed her. Because you don't do stuff like that and get to leave. I mean, no matter how twisted the producers are, they can't let her leave after doing stuff like that. So that was the moment I knew she was going to die. Was she justified? You can't be justified to kill innocent people just because some people wronged you. You can't.
Okay, but then she said something. Cersei has used that weakness against her all through. I was having a discussion with someone. I said, at least there are 3 different times you could have taken King's Landing, and she held back. From, I mean, when she was in Marine, when she had taken Marine, and then there was like, okay, come, you've taken Marine, and she said, oh, I want to sit down and rule. She held back. At Dragonstone, when they went for the parley, she held back. One other time, yes, when Yara, at the meeting of her small council, well, with Yara Greyjoy and the Tyrell, some of that, Olenna Tyrell, she held back. She had to do something, yeah?
No. So the point is this, she's held back so many times, which is fantastic, which I think is the reason why I loved her. I loved her a lot because she wasn't desperate. She wasn't seemingly desperate to get the throne. But then at the moments when King's Landing fell.
Exactly.
King's Landing had fallen. The soldiers had surrendered. She knew that. There was no threat. No, there was no other threat anymore. And then she went on that rampage, that carnage. I mean, come on.
When Jon killed her, yes. Jon killed Daenerys. When Jon killed her, do you think he made up his mind before he got there, or he actually made up his mind at the point where he killed her?
He made up his mind at this point. See, they were having a conversation. That conversation was, he was trying to see if she could
like he was the final, he was giving her the last chance.
He was giving her a chance to, change. At that point, I was like, Jon Snow, you can't be kissing her. Do it, do it. But then when he did it, I was like, hey, hey, he did it.
He was the only one that could do it. I mean, come on, she had Drogon guiding the throne room.
I'm actually surprised that they let Jon Snow walking with the knives and everything. I'm actually surprised. I mean, there are holes in the story. Like I say, it wasn't 100%. I could have tweaked some things. Yeah. But then it was still fantastic. There are holes in the story. If they took out his weapons when he was going to see Tyrion, why did they let him go to see Daenerys without his weapons?
Well, okay. Well, Tyrion is a prisoner. I don't know.
So what was he going to do?
Well, and then she didn't have any guard. Drogon was enough for her.
So he should have kept. But he could have still killed her anyway.
Okay, so but let's look at all the endings for the people. Sansa becoming queen in the north. How is that for you?
Love it. Love it.
Sansa, for me, the Sansa character has just been there.
She wanted the north to be independent, and she made that.
She got it, but she always wanted to be a queen, man. She always wanted to be.
I don't think she always wanted to be a queen. I don't think so. I think she wanted the north to be fine.
To be fine,
she wanted the North to be independent, and
so she has the best interest of the North.
Don't forget, she always deferred to Jon Snow, despite the fact that Jon Snow was a bastard. By the laws of the land, she had more claim to the North than Jon Snow.
But she almost, I mean, look at Bran here. At this particular meeting, she almost undermined Bran's claim to the throne. I mean, she goes like, "Hey, he can't produce children." Madam, did you have to bring that up?
She was being pragmatic. Okay, so somebody talked about epic fantasy writing. Nobody would be king if you're not seeing the future on who will take over. That's a standard fantasy writing. But I mean, this is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is not standard. So I feel like they went above the standard. But standard fantasy writing, somebody else has to be ready to take that position.
Look at this clip now. This clip where Bran says, "Why do you think I came here?" So it was like, guy, did you always know?
That was the point where I said,
did you always know?
He knew. See, we've had this conversation before where we talked about why he knew. I mean, I think he foresaw the fact. He saw that. What's this called? The Greyjoy guy, Euron Greyjoy, was going to ambush Daenerys. Why did he let it happen? When you could have told them that this guy is there, don't take your dragons, or double cross them or something. Exactly. So he knew. I think he knew everything. He played it.
I don't know. Is he the ultimate man? Because I know he has so much power. I think that a number of people, he was the only choice that would not have caused war on that council there. Yeah. I mean, no matter who was picked, a number of people would have let him go because of fear. But then, Bran as the king, was it cool for you?
See, I loved it.
You loved it?
I loved it because, like Tyrion said, he knows history. Exactly. He can foresee some of the future. He has no personal interest.
Exactly.
He actually has no personal interest. He just wants to be the three-eyed raven, see the past, see the future, and build the better world.
Okay, so Tyrion has a hand. Now, that's one that's causing a lot of... Why should he have had, as a prisoner, he was brought there to decide his fate. Why should he have had so much clout or something amongst them?
Why was Grey Worm there in the first place?
Okay.
The queen he served, I mean, he's a foreigner. The queen he served, who's a foreigner as well, was dead. So what was his claim? Why was he there in the first place? What gave him the right to hold Jon as prisoner?
So
if we talk about claims, nobody had claims there in the end, except those people who were sitting there. And
All
if they
right.
allowed Tyrion speak, Tyrion could speak.
Tyrion could speak. All right, so let's look at other endings now. Aya the Explorer. Aya the Explorer.
Mungo Park.
I mean, that was the only thing she could do. There's no more. You know, she thrives in conflict.
Yeah.
That's where her skills are. Conflict. And really, she felt like, okay, maybe Westeros. I don't know. There's nothing here. There's nothing challenging in Westeros. What is west of Westeros? I mean, I think that was like a punchline they put in there. Traveling. What do you think? I don't know. Do you think they could pull up a spin-off from Aya's travels or something?
I'd be mad if they don't pull off a spin-off.
That
If
would
it's
be
not a
wonderful.
show, even if it's not a show, make
Yeah.
it a feature film.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Arya or something like that.
Or something like that,
Because
yeah.
Arya is like, she can become the new Dora the Explorer.
I'm telling you.
And she can basically become, and this is a real life version of Arya the Explorer.
Arya the Explorer.
She goes, conquers new kingdoms,
Yeah.
builds dynasties.
I love
you know?
this shot,
Yeah.
by the way. This is the best shot I've ever seen of any Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I mean, this was wonderful.
Mother of Dragons.
This was wonderful. This
Mother
was
of Dragons. That was like,
no, at this point, I could see in her eyes. She's a wonderful actress, by the way, Emilia Clarke. I could see in her eyes, like, look, man, I've gotten to this point. Nothing is going to stop me. Look at her. I mean, she had conquered. She had conquered. This is it. These are the eyes. You know, like there's something Arya said. So these are the eyes of a killer. Do you think? I don't think that she would have killed Jon Snow. Like, I think that she was really blinded by love. Like, she really did, or she really does love Jon Snow. I really think so.
Yeah.
So everybody felt like, oh, Jon Snow be a threat to her. From the way she reacted in the throne room, you could see that she didn't think, like, she didn't doubt his loyalty.
if Jon Snow did not kill her then,
Yeah.
she would have killed him.
I don't think so.
I think she would have.
I don't think so.
She gave Jon Snow so many chances. The way Jon Snow gave her so many chances as well. But at that point, she was like, so what's your use? If you're going to second guess me every time, if you're going to oppose everything I do, if you're going to be a threat, continue being a threat, why are you living? Why are you existing? Don't forget, she actually liked, what's this guy? Dario Naharis.
Yeah.
She did like him.
She did like him, yeah, exactly.
But then
And
she left him. And remember the conversation she had with Tyrion?
Yeah.
I left the man I cared about and I felt nothing.
Yeah, and she was like, man, that she was scared
So
of
she
herself.
did love Jon Snow, no doubt about that, but at the point it should have been, well, you got to go, fam.
Thank you so much, TD. We'll continue this. We'll look at the whole episode. We'll have our YouTube series out, the final one. We'll look at the whole of Game of Thrones. And Chidi will be me. Thank you very much for coming. And Vala Mogulis. All right. Well, that's all we have on our review of the final episode of Game of Thrones. Let's head over. MM, you know what to do now. You know what to do, right?
Thank you very much, Mike, for the spoilers. For those of us who haven't seen the final episodes, may the good Lord reward you this morning, you and Chidi. Thank you. But hey, people, no shawarma for Mike, just so you know. No shawarma for Mike. This morning in the kitchen with me is Mrs. Ariola of Numero Uno. And this morning we are making shawarma, people. Right now, our shawarma is we're about to wrap it all up. So quickly, we'll just go through the ingredients and get wrapping. Quickly?
Okay.
Yeah, great. So let's go.
So we have the grilled chicken.
Yeah.
Properly grilled, seasoned.
Yeah.
And we have our cabbage, diced.
Yeah.
We have our sausage.
Sausages.
Sausage, you can decide to dice your sausage too, the way I dice the chicken.
Okay, chicken, yeah, if you
it
like.
gives it a good feeling.
Okay, great.
Then we have our tomatoes. We have our onions. We have our green pepper.
And
the
our
unleavened
bread. Great.
And
so
then
now
the
let's
sauce.
Yeah, of course, the key ingredients in
Yes,
this
yes.
meal. All right, so quickly, let's just show people how to mix all of this up.
Okay, so you can mix it up anyhow.
Okay.
Just put everything in a bowl, probably.
Okay.
And then the unleavened bread normally comes this way. It comes in twos.
Okay.
So you open it up.
All right.
You open it up and then just position them on top of each other.
Okay.
So after mixing everything together.
So in here we have our cabbage, we have our tomatoes, we
Yes.
have our green pepper.
We have our chili
our
pepper.
onions as well. And our chili pepper as well, yeah.
And
Okay.
then,
So
we are
since
adding
you don't want to disclose what our secret recipe for our sauce is, it's
Yes.
all right. But what can we use? Just give us other alternatives we could use?
You can use mayonnaise.
Yeah.
You can use salad cream.
Yeah.
You can use ketchup. You mix them. You can use any kind. If you still want to add oil,
Okay.
for me,
you could-
I don't.
Okay.
You can
But
put
you could use
almond.
that, all right. So we're just going to
Then
mix all of this
yogurt.
up, put it in our unleavened bread, wrap it up, and toss it in our grill machine. Yes, people, so much happening here on the show. Pretty excited. I hope you are. All right, we have to go on a quick break. Stay with us.
You're welcome back to Wake Up Nigeria, your one-stop show for everything fun and good. I was about to say one-stop show.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours already.
Yes.
And if you did not start with us from 6 a.m., well, just make an effort to stick around with us for another 45 minutes. My name is Yomi Obe.
And I am Mary Basha Alimi. Up till 8:45, you have nowhere else you want to be. So stream us with us live if you have to leave the house. Before that, it's online at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Now, don't forget the TVC app is available for download on the Apple iStore and on the Google Play Store as well. You can watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yes. Now we'll move on to the highlights, at least what's going to be happening for the rest of the day. For parenting, Lagos dad, Jesutola Ajao, will be back with us again to talk to dads about bonding with their newborns.
Yes, indeed. And also, we've got Abayomi Bosude, who is a certified mechanical engineer and started a conversation last week about what we should look out for when getting a used car. We talked about budget. We talked about checking out the outer body and other things. So we're going to be looking at other things today.
Yeah, and then of course we have actress and presenter Belinda Effah. She will be our celebrity guest this morning. She's also the host of Lunch Break with Belinda. She angry?
For the next 2 weeks, if you are caught driving without a driver's license, there's a 10,000 naira fine.
Yeah.
Only 2 weeks.
And of course it goes into your records.
Only 2 weeks.
Well, it's an intensive stuff.
It's intensive, so
Yes.
it's just to encourage people to sign up. And
Go and get your driver's license.
What I just wanted to mention now was Naira Marley.
Okay, so yes, so Naira Marley has been trending, and a lot of people have been Naira Marlene on social media.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Explain that.
Yes, what it means is the art of casting yourself on social media. Yes, that's our Naira Marley, just in case you don't know. Exactly. He went to mouth. His mouth put him into trouble.
And you're now calling yourself legend. That
Legend what?
I'm not understanding.
He's
man.
standing for the Yahoo boys.
Are you serious? He said it. So why did he plead not guilty
So
in court?
some girl yesterday on Twitter, I mean, babe just went, she said that all you as in swag.
with his boys.
So this babe was, okay, in what she was trying to do was basically tell other Yahoo boys that you could do this business and still be discreet. You don't have to show off. So what she was trying to say is that, oh, I have a cousin who actually lives in VGC. He's a Yahoo boy. He's a tech guy. No. But, I mean, like, he lives he's so discreet, so low-key, you wouldn't even know that he actually pays like 3 million for his rent. He lives in VGC, drives a Toyota Corolla. Like, she basically like called this guy out. But what she meant to do basically was say that as a Yahoo boy, you could still do this business and still be discreet. You know, still live low-key.
So that causes
Everyone on Twitter came out and said, Auntie, EFCC is ringing.
You know what?
If
It's
I did
just
because
showing
they
the
used to
level
show
of
her
decadence in this country,
burnt offering.
where it is not a case of people are proud to be doing negative things. Like you see it as you've achieved something by being a bad
You're
person.
hustling. It's part of the hustle.
What does that do to people who are trying to at least hustle legitimately?
No, that girl now, she's supposed to be burnt offering now. My that cousin.
Imagine if it's the cousin that is
But then
causing
she has helped society if they finally hook the guy up. She's helped society. My point
She's
is,
a whistleblower.
they need to give her some part of the guy's loot or something.
No, but really, I think with what's going on, I think EFCC is also trying to make an example.
Yes,
of
using
someone
Naira Marley,
who's
popular,
famous, who's popular, and is involved in that.
Yeah.
Because the guys they've been getting over the past 3 months have been people that were relatively unknown.
Yeah.
You know, raiding different locations and all of that. But this guy,
we gotta go now. But if you're having Toyota and you're in VGC and you have 3 million house rent, run. Don't go to a quarter.
Yeah, Mike, I will not be a part of that. And I'm sure Ibrahim will not be a part of that. Right, Ibrahim?
Of course, I can never be. If you want to be a spokesperson or a spokesman for those who are into Yahoo, well, you just have to always watch your back. And if you think about it, you see what is happening already to Naira Marley. The man accused of killing 51 people in the Christchurch mosque's attack has been charged with terrorism. Police said Brenton Tarrant was charged with engaging in a terrorist act. He is already facing charges of murder and 40 for attempted murder following the attack on 2 mosques in the South Island city on 15th of March. The Australian is next due in court in June. The attack was the deadliest mass shooting attack in New Zealand. As a result, New Zealand's parliament voted to ban military-style semi-automatic weapons. And that's the news today on Wake Up Nigeria. Stay tuned. We have sports news coming up.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for that.
Thank you.
Now, of course, the main story has been
the Naira Marley saga.
Naira Marley
MM mentioned
saga.
something not too long ago about a lady who allegedly went out in the middle of the night
to pray for him.
To pray for the...
I don't know. It's a story with many dimensions. And, well, at the end of the day, we expect that justice will be served.
Yes, and I hope he gets fair trial, fair hearing, fair everything, and fair judgment as well. As long as he is innocent, then he should get, you know, freed.
Acquitted.
But if he's not... You're welcome again. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. You know, a new baby in the family and mothers always just seem to melt into their new role naturally. It's quite a sweet sight. But it takes a bit of an adjustment for a father to bond with his new baby. And that's why we have Jesutola Ajao, the lead coach at Lagos Dads. And together, we'll be talking about father and baby bonding this morning. Great to have you here, Jesutola.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So, Jesutola, a new baby comes into the house, as we say. People expect a mother to just fit into the role. Of course, we already know that not all mothers can. And then we have the father as well. And nobody thinks of it that it's important for a father to actually bond with his child initially. I'm sure you have a contrary view to that.
Well, the society, the way our society is designed, nobody prepares the man for the family, and then it comes with this reality where you wake up and you find out that, oh, your wife is pregnant, and then you're going to become a father. What do I do? How do I fit into this? And then the reality gets done on you, and you have to actually be a father.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, you go into the hospital as a family, well, the husband and the wife goes into the hospital, and you come back as a family. Between that process, there's an explosion of love that happens. The child is here. What you have to do, you have to understand that your side as a father is half the role of parenting. You own like 50% of the job. And you have to you have to sit tight to actually do this job, which is really, really important.
So when you say sit tight, what do you mean? What's expected to sit tight?
Again, because of how our society is right now, it is important that fathers must realize that their role in the job of parenting is a key factor because of how everywhere is right now at this point in time. So if you don't know what to do, you have to learn on the job. There are so many things you can read online.
You actually said learn on the job, yes, because
yes,
fatherhood is a job.
It's
really.
a job, actually.
Yeah.
So you have to learn, you have to read, you have to watch videos, you have to be there. Time is really, really going to change. Your life is not going to be the same anymore. Your life is going to take a turn. So you have to sit tight to actually do this job as a father.
Now, some people don't see being a father as such a big deal. As long as I'm providing, and of course, that's why the mother is there to take care of the child. How can you disabuse such people from such thinking?
Today's fathers are actually moving away from the norm, where, you know, how we used to believe fathers are, they just provide and they disappear. No, today's fathers are more interested in parenting. So right now, I think people are actually getting to understand that parenting is actually a big deal. If you actually want your child to grow up in the right way, you must be there. You must do this job. You know, they're like a guardian, someone who must actually put them right. So you must be available to do this job.
Okay, so let's go personal now. As a father yourself, when your wife gave birth, How did you handle it? Like, how did you get to bond with your child yourself? I know it's different for every father, but what was it like for you?
Okay.
I see the smile.
A beautiful one. When the child came, it came about 7:24.
Okay.
7:24. I can remember vividly.
Wow.
I became super teary, and I couldn't handle it. Well, there was an explosion of love. And then I held him, and that
You
was
were
it.
not scared? I know most men are always like...
I wasn't
child
scared.
might
I wasn't scared. I've always looked forward to this moment. I've learned. I've seen people, old children. I've had nieces and nephews around. So I've been doing this once in a while, holding babies. But then this is mine.
Yeah.
Then so I held him, and
did you speak to him? I know some people will talk to their child. How did you bond with your child?
Well, that was how it started. We started talking. From day one, we started talking. I sing. So it became...
You were singing for your child?
Yes, it became something that we got used to. When I sing, there's this thing that he does. He raises his fingers and moves his fingers in to acknowledge the fact that, okay, you understand that this is my dad. You know, this thing happens. You have this connection that happens when you, from day one, when you start talking to your child, he or she understands. And when you're around and the baby hears your voice, there are ways that they show that they know that you're around. So the bonding goes a very long way. Yeah. You know, the angle of wearing your baby skin to skin. Yeah. Then holding them, calling them.
So there are different ways.
There are
like
so many ways.
Take off your shirt and just hold your baby close. Yeah.
Yes, it bonds you. It prepares a long memory for you and the child.
You're getting teary-eyed.
You know, I've had to, you know, it's a beautiful thing. No father must mix that. You know, you mustn't miss that at all.
Yes, and that brings me to my final question. For fathers who have actually missed it, take, for example, on the one hand, fathers who were probably away when their child was born, maybe due to not being aware of their child being born, or maybe like soldiers that were away for years, or even stepfathers, you know, a child coming into your home. How can they bond with that child after, you know, they've missed the first few years, or even sometimes up to adolescence? How do you bond with such a child? Okay,
the key thing to do is create time.
Is to what?
Create time.
Create time.
You must create time.
Because you're trying to make up for time.
Make up for time, yes. Because you've actually missed a lot. Yeah. You've missed a lot. If you want to win the child back, if you want to bond with your child, you must create time. You must express love by spending time with them in a very, very beautiful way. You have to create memories. Okay. So time gives you the opportunity to create memories.
Fantastic. That's it. Thank you so much. So for new parents, just take advantage of the fact that you have an early start in your child's life. And for parents who are actually new to it after several years lost, just create time and spend time with your children. That's
very important.
Thank you so much, Jason Tolaja. Great having a conversation with you. Yeah, I'll probably get you something for your eye. All right now, Yomi is in the garden with Mike. Not our Yomi, but Yomi Bush today on tips to getting a really good used car.
Welcome to the outdoors. We're out here. I'm here with Bayomi of Autocentric Garage. Now, last week we started talking about what you need to do and what you need to know if you want to buy a new car. Bayomi's joining us again. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right, bro.
All right, so last week, let's just go over what we talked about for people who want to, especially for those who want to buy their first car. So this is my first car, and last week we said, you know, if my budget is 700,000, what are the things I should be looking at immediately? So let's just go over that very quickly.
Okay, great. So last week we talked about budgets, you know, and also your need for the vehicle, what you have to do, what you need the vehicle for. Yeah. You know, and aside, moving from your need, you then need to do your inspection around the vehicle, take a walk around it, see if there are dents, dings, or some visible repairs or paint job that has been done. So that would inform the kind of questions you would ask the dealer. Yeah. What has been done, or how badly damaged it was, what kind of condition it was involved in for purchase, you know. Then also we talked about looking in the engine compartments if you can see any areas that don't look too normal to you. You know. So after doing that, then would that also help you with negotiation?
Yeah, negotiation. And then we talked about getting a mechanic to just look under the hood.
Exactly.
And ensure that you're getting a good deal. For what you're paying for. Anyway, this week we don't have much time. What should we look out for? Again, we didn't conclude last week. So what are the other things that we should be looking out for when I want to buy a car?
Great. So from that point, you then also might need to look at your tires. Because when you look at the tire, that would inform. You can also, okay, for instance, let me help you break it down. If you look around your tire wall, there are so many things written on it. But look out for where you have DOT written. It means Department of Transport. After it, you see 4 numbers written. For instance, it might be 3415.
Right.
Now, the first 2 numbers means the week of manufacture of the tire, while the last 2 means the year.
The year, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you see 3415, for instance, that means that tire was manufactured on the 34th year of 2015. So that will tell you it's not expired yet, but of course it's on its way out. So that can help you plan while buying the tire, or that might also be a tool for you as well while buying the vehicle from the dealer.
Or negotiating.
Yeah.
Okay, so apart from the tires, are there anything else?
Yeah, you need to also check the VIN of the vehicle. The VIN, that means Vehicle Identification Number. Right. That's acronym for Vehicle Identification Number.
The VIN is important.
Yeah, most times you find the VIN on the front area here
so
of
this
your windshield.
Front panel,
yes,
under the windshield.
Under the windshield, it's an alphanumeric mix. You know, alphabets and numbers mixed together. So this provides a whole lot of information, but you won't be able to understand everything.
There's something curious you were telling me earlier that you know there was a mix of. There's a reason why it's now mixed between numbers and alphabets.
Okay, great. I was sharing with you earlier off air, you know that to get the year of your vehicle, you need to count from the right side to the left.
So
now,
right to left.
Right to left, and you're going to stop at the 8th alphabet or number that you find there. That is the year of manufacture for your vehicle.
Right.
Yeah. So whatever you find there determines the year. But because we're now in the 2019 year. As at 2000, you had numbers there. Yeah. So if the 8th character was say 9, that means the vehicle year is 2009. Now, for instance, you want to now buy a 2012 vehicle, you won't find 2 again because that 2 was represented as a 2002.
Right. Okay.
So in 2012, they've now changed it to alphabets. So for 2012, it would be B.
Right. Okay. So 2011 will be A, 2012 B, 2013 C, 2014.
Then the countdown goes like
that.
Right.
Okay. So
if you can't understand that, if that's too difficult for you, look on the driver's side. You'll find a sticker there that would have the year of your vehicle / the month.
Or get a professional.
Get a professional. We can help you sort that out as well. Okay. So you then move to doing your research. Your research can't be enough. Because you might find out, you will also find in the course of research, some vehicles have been recalled, or some TSB, what we call TSB in the technical language is technical service bulletins have been issued on certain vehicles, meaning you might be experiencing a certain challenge with your vehicle. If you don't do your research, you won't understand that it's from the factory, it's a factory error, or after the vehicle was manufactured,
they then discovered
and they issued out that warning, either for you to return it to the factory for a replacement part, or you have that knowledge while you own the vehicle.
So if it's a car that's been recalled, you're advising that probably don't buy it, even if it's going for a seemingly good deal.
It depends on the nature of the recall. Some vehicles were recalled for brake issues. I would recommend you stay off those ones totally.
Yeah, because of the brakes.
Because of the
some
brakes.
Were recalled
for airbags.
Because of airbags.
Yes, some for airbag issues. Why? Because the airbags won't deploy upon collision. Now that's serious.
Which is that's pretty serious.
Yes, pretty serious. But some were recalled for wiper not functioning. There may be rear wipers not functioning properly.
Just carry it to the boys. They'll just arrange it.
I mean, that won't take a life, you know. But the really serious issues, you should not buy such models, and it won't be all the models. Be certain models that will have such issues, you know.
Yeah.
So with all of that in place, you are sure by the time you follow all the steps we've advised that you follow,
at least you'll be buying a decent car. A decent first car.
Yeah. Above all, get a professional along to help you be your eyes on that deal, and
Abayomi, well done. Thank you so much for this. I'm sure we've given some information to someone out there who's thinking, what move should I make? At least now you would have an idea. And of course, you can get in touch with Abayomi on Ultracentric Garage on any of the social media platforms. We're going to take a break now. When we get back, it's going to be with Belinda Effah on the show. Hey, welcome back. We have a lovely lady in the building this morning. She is an actress and presenter. And she won the Most Promising Act of the Year award at the 9th Africa Movie Academy Awards.
From working as a presenter with Sound City, she started her own TV show titled Lunch Break with the one and only Belinda. How you doing?
Good to have you join us this morning.
I'm
liking this warm smile.
Yeah.
On a cold morning.
On a cold morning.
I know, right? You guys woke me up like 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
So I'm still sleepy.
What's the earliest time you've woken up for a call for something? What's the earliest time? That's if you didn't stay up all night. What's the earliest time you've woken up?
4 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah, 3. Oh, wow.
So you more of a night person? What do you prefer? Night, day? What kind of a person are you?
Night.
Oh, okay. So you can stay up till really late, but you would rather not get up early.
Yeah, I love my beauty sleep. I feel like my eyes are swollen.
Okay, no, they're okay. They're okay. Don't worry. They're okay. Okay, so let's start with your TV show. Your TV show was after you had been in a reality show, right?
Yes.
And which one comes to you more naturally, acting or presenting? Acting or presenting? Acting.
Yeah.
So how much of an actor is in a presenter? Since you do both of them, because me, I've been thinking that I have some acting skills somewhere. So you're the best person to ask that question.
No, an actor is basically everyone. Yes, but a presenter might not necessarily be an actor. But as an actor, you should be able to know how to present, be a medical doctor, be a teacher, be a child, be everything. So you get to see some actors being comedians, and being very good at what they do. Case in point, Helen Paul.
Okay,
You can see she can do that babyish thing. Some people are naturally talented. They have this gift of doing several things. But an actor basically is everyone.
Yeah, you've since the days of the Next Movie Star, you've done quite a bit. You've had quite a number of projects that you've put away. It looks like you're always consistently busy.
Yeah.
But talk to us about that journey from when you were evicted from the house.
I was never evicted, actually.
Well, when you got out of the house, then from there it was almost like, look, I'm going to hit the ground running. No matter what it takes, I'm going to make it in this industry.
Okay, for me, it's always been a case of passion and not giving up on my passion. It didn't look like it was going to happen, but I held on to it firmly and kept believing that one day it's going to happen. While I was in school, I really wanted to act. I always told my friends, my classmates, whoever cared to listen that, hey, I want to be an actress. And I always tried to look for the opportunities. I fell into the wrong hands sometimes, and I never gave up. So,
what do you mean by wrong hands?
There was this producer that came into town, Calabar, as at the time when I was in school, and he was like, oh, he's brother to Teku Benson. So his last name was Benson.
Yeah.
So he ended up taking us to Cameroon for a movie gig that never happened. But luckily for me, I just stayed like 3 days and I saw the
way it was going.
Yeah, the shady way. So I'm like, I need to go back to school. At least I have a chance at school.
Yeah, go on with your
story. But some people stayed on for like 3 months and the story wasn't good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the guy ended up being in prison for his dubious ways. Anyways, fast forward.
Yeah.
Because of the passion I have for it, a colleague of mine, my classmate, approached me. I'm like, there's this reality TV show. I know you love acting and there's an opportunity here for you. Maybe you should go for the audition, and it was in Port Harcourt. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's how my journey began.
And then, so after the house, up until now, how has it been? Did it really take you, the trajectory, was it?
Next Movie Star was a very great platform for me.
Okay.
It gave me the basics, the intro to the life that I'm living right now. And after the show, I didn't quite get the acting gigs like I felt
like
it would come.
Yeah.
Not because I wasn't ready, but because it was another form of preparation for me. Yeah. Like when you finish a show, as at then, we didn't have the social media that would just skyrocket you to the next platform, like, hey. So it was good. I mean, I learned all the things I needed to learn. And I was ready for the real world. And
one of the things that you talked about this morning is that an actor needs to be dynamic. So you can be a doctor, you can be a comedian, whatever it is. What would you rather do if you were going to get a script today and you wanted it to be one of your big roles? What do you see yourself playing?
Yeah.
What would I see myself playing?
Yeah.
Like, if I had to choose a role?
Perfect role, yes.
Yeah, if you had to choose something to do, like, okay, this is the thing that...
Perfect role, something that you think that you would excel in, or something you would just love to play.
I don't know. I like to keep an open mind.
Okay.
And, yeah, take on any challenge. But for me right now, maybe to be an action role.
Are you serious?
Yeah, maybe be a superhero.
How's your gym schedule like? You go to the gym?
Trust me.
It's showing. I can feel it.
Game of Thrones character, what would you
be?
I'm not such a huge fan, I'm sorry to all the fans out there. I tried watching a couple of times.
It's
not my thing. Yeah, even with the current rave, I tried going back to it. I'm like, what is this? I don't know. Maybe just too much of a sexual show.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry.
It moved from that.
Yeah, it moved from that.
So just a final question. You see, something I've found out with a lot of actresses now, I've spoken to one or two people and they told me that there's so much pressure on a number of people, maybe because of what some other people show that they've achieved via acting. There's a lot of pressure on young actresses these days to live up to a certain standard. If it does apply in your case, how do you deal with such pressure?
I'm Belinda Effah. I don't lose my identity. I don't lose my voice. As a matter of fact, I just did a movie titled Miracle, and the theme of that movie is I have a voice and my dreams are valid. So if you stand for something, you will never fall for anything that comes your way. So I've learned to stand for something. I'm Belinda Effah. So whatever anybody is doing, I'm not that person. I'm not going to lose myself. I stand for integrity, my reputation, and my future is very bright. So why would I lose that for a pot of pottage today?
I like that. Yeah. Selling your birthright, like Esau.
All right, that's right. So the movie you're talking about, Miracle, just very short synopsis, just very short few.
Okay. Okay. All right, okay. It addresses issues of rape, prostitution, cultism, and peer pressure. So I'm very, very much for our youth of today. And I want them to regain their voices. A lot of them have lost their voices. They don't know who they are. I always say this, the you in you makes you the you are. So who are you? So with this movie, I want you to know who you are. You talk to a youth and you ask the person, what's your 1-year plan, what's your 2-year plan, and they are clueless.
Not very clear,
we see some of these comedy skits that are being edited. Maybe you go for a graduation show and you ask, what's IQ? They don't know. You just graduated. What were you doing in school? Who are you?
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Belinda. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. She's going to be a motivational speaker. She's going to add that to the list of things she does. Let's join us in the kitchen, please.
Okay.
To the kitchen. And
this is actually what we've been waiting for all morning.
Yep.
Hi, Belinda.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Okay, so I see the bright smile.
Yeah, I love
Welcome
food.
to the kitchen.
Thank you.
All right, so this is Mrs. Ariola of Numero Uno, Shawarma. And she's made this, tasty, really delicious shawarma this morning for you. So, Miss Ariola, you want to quickly go through it?
Okay, and she's kept one for me. I can see that she lovingly wrapped it.
Good evening, Miss Ariola. Over to you.
So this is Numero Uno shawarma. It's not just any shawarma.
Whoa.
Okay, so it contains cabbage, green pepper, onions, tomatoes, and grilled chicken, also grilled sausage. And then the chili pepper, which comprises of 3 kind of chili pepper, the Cameroon, the Jos, and the Benue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And also my secret recipe, the cream.
The cream.
And you can reach her online on
Numero Uno, numero underscore uno underscore shawarma.
So this is healthy, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, because I can see that you're on a diet.
Yeah. I don't want to eat and then start feeling guilty that I have to hit the gym.
No, but it's quite healthy, actually. You have a lot of vegetables in there and then just a little bit of protein.
And then the wrap is equally healthy.
It's very healthy, exactly.
And the sausage.
I feel like she's talking herself to eating it.
Yeah, I know, right? She's guilt-tripping herself to it for enjoy. So what do you think? Like, love?
Yummy.
Thank you so much. Well
She
done.
had to throw my name in
That
there.
was like a promo. Like,
I like it because the cream wasn't too much.
Yeah.
Most people just
Mess it
mess
up.
it up with the cream.
No.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
All right, we
Well
do
done,
have
Mr.
to round
By the
off the
way.
show now.
Thank
Big
you.
thank you to our friends over at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories.
Thank you so much. And of course to Fola at Fola's Place for always styling our hair. Thank you so much, Fola.
Thank
Can't
you for
believe
having
waking
me.
up so early.
Yeah, thanks
Thank you for
to
having
everyone
me.
for
Thank
joining
you,
us on the
Chef
show.
Aaron.
Belinda, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Numero uno shawarma. Check them
Yes.
out on Instagram.
Yeah, that's, we can't wait to dig in. You can see us rubbing our palms together already.
You wait.
See you tomorrow.
Have a nice day.
Bye.